So today is a day that we need to spend some time reflecting and remembering Queen Elizabeth II, and we'll be doing that in just a little while. But before we do that, it's a day that's exciting for other reasons. It's a day that we launch our quads. Hooray! So we've been talking about them for a number of weeks now. We've preached towards the values of them over the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks even. And so we actually get to launch them today. So at the end of the service on this table there will be sheets of paper with the names of the people that you're in quads with. So you will find them there after the table. So what do you do once you've got those? That's a really good question. The first thing that you do is you find a time to meet. So there's no prescriptive time. This is not you've got to be here at this time on this day. Just figure out between you people in the quads what works for you, where works for you, when works for you, and meet. And can I just be really bold and say, meet, have a coffee, maybe a bite to eat if that's what you want to do, but just spend some time getting to know each other, meeting one another, greeting one another, and beginning to talk through what quad life could look like for you. We recommend that you meet about once a fortnight, but if you're loving life in quads so much that you want to meet more regular than that, that's absolutely fine. You can do that. You can meet as much or as little as you want. We recommend once a fortnight to have some kind of momentum, some kind of rhythm, and to kind of give some space for that. We've reflected on the rhythm of the church life, and we've decided to reduce our midweek meetings when we meet at St George's to fortnightly. So that doesn't mean that the fortnight that you don't meet at St George's that you have to meet Wednesday 8 o'clock. It just means if you want to, you can do. And at least if you don't meet at that time, you've just got a bit of time and space in the week to do that. So we won't be meeting at St George's this week, PCC meeting in God's Providence. We'll be back there next week, so this is a good opportunity to try and take some time to meet with the people that are in your quad this week. The whole philosophy of quads is that they are organic. In other words, they're not prescriptive. There's not a series that you have to work through. There's not prescribed questions that you must answer every single week. There's liberty to respond to what's going on within your quad. There's freedom for you to adapt what's going on to the circumstances that you guys find yourselves in week by week. There will be material that's available via the church website that you can use if you want to, but you don't have to. But a question that springs to mind is, what if, with every best intention in the world, it doesn't work? What if things are just proving too difficult to meet, or things are not working, or you've got concerns about somebody in your group? Come and talk to me. Don't need to make mountains out of molehills, just come and talk to me. And our desire is, and we said this from the very outset, that as the church grows, as the kingdom of God advances, that other people come in, and we don't just say new people go into a new quad, but actually we conduct ourselves within the quads in such a way that we're not exclusive, but that others can be added in, so that when 4 becomes 5 becomes 6, 6 becomes 2 3s, which become 4s, 5s and 6s. So there's growth within this, and there's multiplication built within this. And when you see the list of names that I'm going to be putting out after the service, you'll notice that there is a hint, and it is only a hint, but a hint of the geographic about them. In other words, as part of the thinking about who goes in what group, we've taken a whole raft of different things into consideration, including where people live. So there's a strategic purpose to these, in that who knows in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, maybe we're involved in saying, okay, there's now 100 of us. Let's let that 100 become 250s, and we've noticed that 48 of the 50 live in Newton or on Hattersley. So maybe in the future this becomes something that God will use as part of church planting. That's not where we're at, that's not what we're talking about, but we need to have eyes of faith that actually as things grow they can fit around those things. So there's a hint of the geographic, but that's not the biggest driver in what's how we've chosen who goes where. If people join the church, if people express a desire to get involved in things and to grow in faith by being with other believers midweek, I'll take responsibility for picking a quad, and I'll ask them to be allocated to that quad, so please don't be at a closed shop. Other people may join you in the months and years to come. And one question that perhaps needs to be very explicitly addressed is this. If there are serious pastoral issues raised in your quad, please don't think, oh well, we've talked about that now, we'll just keep that between ourselves. Please encourage one another to come and talk those things through with either myself or someone in the leadership team or someone that's the other elder side. Because actually these are meant to be organic, and they're meant to give opportunity for responsiveness to what's going on in people's lives, but it's not us absolving our responsibility for pastoral care. So there needs to be some willingness to come and talk to us about what's going on in your life. So does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So where are the sheets going to be after the service?
Over there.
Table over there. And what you need to do once you see who you're in a quad with?
Make a cunning plan.
Make a cunning plan, yeah, meet up. It need be no more cunning than the meet up. You might even want to set up a WhatsApp group because we all realise that we're not in enough WhatsApp groups, don't we?